Do not adjust the screen. Yes, there's only one of us. Welcome to the Straub Sports Show, the Straub Sports Show today. Yes, as you see, I am by myself. Don't panic. I got this. I'll hold it down. Little brother, I mean, I guess the best way to describe it is he decided to go on spring break. Mr. Big Time, getting ready to graduate from college, thinks that, he's owed an entire week off. So he decided to drive around the country and forget about us. No, that's exactly what he's doing. But of course, we want to give love to him. Big little bro is out there. He's been all around the country, literally. I'm not joking. On spring break this week. We will have him back with us next week. Not only will we have him back with us next week. Hi, Mom. Not only will we have him back with us next week, we will be doing a special. Now, all of the social medias all over the 216 Sports Network will let you know. But Monday or Tuesday, we will be having a Straub Sports Show, Rulers Minute, bracket crossover. Me, Rico, Little Bro, possibly Jay are all going to come on. And we're going to do some brackets. Appreciate you, Pops. Yeah, rocking solo. Like I said, Little Bro traveling around the country doing the spring break thing. But that's all right. I got us. First things first. The 216 Sports Network. That's where you find us. That's where you find me, and that's where you find all of our shows. That would be 4th and 15 with Mel and Smooth, The Jay Rich Show, The Rulers Minute with Rico McGee, Outside Interference, and The Straub Sports Show. I have a good one for you. If you want to follow The Straub Sports Show, here's where you can follow us. On Twitter, X, at Straub Sports, on TikTok, at the SBSS, and Spotify. Just search Straub Sports Show. Will come up. Give us a follow and give us a like on Spotify as well, and give us a 5 stars, please. And please make sure you follow the network on YouTube and you follow us on Facebook as well. So like I said, I'm rolling solo, but that doesn't stop what we get to doing, huh? And that's what I want to do first. I want to break some news for the show. Obviously, Little Bro's not here, so it wouldn't matter because he's not a part of it and he's not going to do it. But me, will be covering the MAC tournament in person tomorrow night and Saturday for the championship game. If you've been following us on Facebook, like you do, I put up a post that I was following it on X on Twitter. If you've been following the show on Twitter, which you absolutely should be following us, like I said, at Straub Sports. I have been keeping up a lot of updates on the games. I went all throughout yesterday, every game. Unfortunately, I was busy at work today, so I could only keep up so much, and I had to get ready for the show, so I'm currently missing the Akron game. However, let's keep everybody updated. Currently, Akron is winning. They are playing Miami of Ohio right now. And I know everybody loves 48-39 in the second half. So keep it up there on the MAC for you. So obviously I will have some exclusive stuff going on X, on Twitter. I know it's X. I'm going to call it Twitter all the time. Little Bro's not here to correct me today, so you got to deal with it. But I'll have exclusives, some photos, some behind-the-scenes stuff, some interviews with coaches after the game as well. You already know who asked the good questions in the post-game press conferences. That's your guy right here. But first things first, let's get to the news. We got a couple things I want to cover, a couple things big that happened in the sports world. And unfortunately, Little Bro is going to be disappointed that he did not get to talk about this one. And the first one is LSU and the South Carolina women. They got into a little fracas, a little brouhaha. A little squabble, okay, as it's known. Camila Cardoso among 6, and I apologize for having to move my screen around there. If you're listening to us on Spotify, it doesn't matter. But Cardoso among 6 thrown out, both benches were tossed. Then afterwards, South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley apologized to the basketball community, apologized for her team's behavior, basically said that this is not who we are and this is not how we represent the game of basketball. And then LSU coach Kim Mulkey wanted to talk about how it was a coward move and she wishes that girl would have tried to fight Angel Reese. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. All right. I could already tell you what Little Bro would say. He would absolutely be all over Mulkey like I am. It just, yes, it was kind of a coward move for a 6'6" girl to, pick on a guard, but I don't to then and actually ask her and want her to call out your best player who openly had come out and said, I stay away from those things because when you reach a certain level, you can't get involved with those kind of things, which you're absolutely right. Angel Reese, shout out to you. But to just see Dawn Staley, obviously your coach of the year, a GOAT, come out and basically be apologetic and say, hey, this is not who South Carolina is, and this is not how we play. And then you look at Kim Mulkey, and Kim Mulkey is just egging on a fight. I mean, it just kind of shows you what's going on there. On some other unfortunate news in terms of college basketball, a weird one. Once again, a couple of these things I wanted to be able to get out. If you've got something to say about it, drop it in the comments. We'll talk about it. I'll bring it up on the screen. We'll go back and forth tonight. I've already made the joke to the boys that I'm doing my full Jim Rome impression, going solo dolo. Rome is burning. Let's pick up the calls. Utah State women's basketball coach Kayla Ard was fired before her press conference Sunday night after her team was eliminated in the first round of the Mountain West tournament. If you haven't seen the video, it's awkward because by the time she gets there and they start asking her questions, she's like, well, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. To be fair, she's only won 9 games in 2 seasons, 5-25 overall this year, 2-16 in the Mountain West. I mean, you're going to get fired when you have numbers like that, unfortunately. Some other big things have happened. NFL free agency. Now, before anybody gets too excited, I mean, none of this stuff is worth really talking about yet. I'm going to be honest. Now, come draft time, when we sit down and we do some live shows and we do some stuff for the NFL draft, I will pour over NFL free agency. I will go move by move, team by team, division by division. But until then, I mean, there's some big ones we can hit so far. A lot of them, I didn't write down every single one, obviously, but I mean, Baker Mayfield, 3 years, $100 million to stay in Tampa Bay. We already talked about it on the show, but Mike Evans stayed there as well. So they link back up together. Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. I mean, we're going to spend a show. No, not a full show, but we're going to spend some time talking about it. I desperately wanted him for the Cowboys. But that did not happen. Speaking of the Cowboys, Tony Pollard to the Titans, Austin Eckler to the Commanders. Chris Jones stayed in Kansas City. Yes, go Baker, absolutely. Baker got his bag. The Browns traded for Jerry Jeudy. I know there's been some discussions back and forth with Browns fans and kind of how they feel about it. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I like it. The reason I like it is, no, it's not a home run. It's not a splash. It's not the biggest move of all time. It's none of that. But it's a good upgrade. Your skill position has lacked. I'm going to be honest. Chubb gets hurt. Amari Cooper is a good receiver. I had him in Dallas. I love the guy. He disappears for 5 at least games every year. It happens. Somebody has to step up. Well, who did the Browns have to step up besides Njoku? Not really anybody. I like Jerry Jeudy. He fits in because he's not going to go. Jerry Jeudy's not going to slot in and be a number 1. Jerry Jeudy is going to slot in and be a 2, be a third option on this team because obviously Chubb and or whatever your running game is going to be 1. 2 is going to be Amari Cooper / Njoku. And then you have Jerry Jeudy in that 3rd, 4th position in terms of hierarchy. I think it's a good move for the Browns. I really do. Devils, as I said, I wasn't going to talk about a lot of these moves in depth. And here I am talking about you Browns. Devin Singletary to the Giants. I mean, just there's been things have happened. And then, I mean, there's my Cowboys then. And we will. Oh, I got the list of all of their moves right here. You guys ready? Yeah. Blank. Nothing. My Cowboys have decided to take free agency and sit it out. Okay, cool. That's wonderful. Yeah. So like I said, we'll break down more of the news and stuff like that in terms of NFL free agency more as we get closer to the season. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm in on basketball right now. I'm in on my college basketball. I'm in on my footy. We have months and months and months before we need to get ready to go in terms of football, and we will break all of that down as we go. Moving on with some of the news. This one hurts me. This one pains me that I even have to talk about this because I love Kobe Bryant. I always have, always will. Rest in peace, Kobe. We miss you and Gigi. multiple errors on the Kobe Bryant statue will be fixed. Damn right they will be. But just ridiculous. Misspellings in the names, just awful. But hopefully they get that together immediately. But I also have some other good news, and I want to give a shout out to my cousin Michelle because she sent this to me. I did see it. I wanted to talk about it, but I'm not gonna lie. In the prep for an entire show, things absolutely slipped through the cracks. So I can't thank her enough for giving me this so I could remember it. I want to give a shout out to Molson. Yes, that Molson, the sponsor of the Women's Hockey League that's starting this year. They are moving their name to the top of the back of the jerseys. Why? So that the women's names can be at the bottom, not covered by a lot of them have longer hair, but not covered by the hair. So you can absolutely see the name of the player who's skating around that you root for and that you buy the jersey. I'm going to be 100% honest, and I'm going to give full, uncensored, unfiltered, absolute 100% honest opinion. That is a fucking genius move, flat out. I apologize, Mom, for swearing, but that is a genius move. It is an amazing move. We should, boom, done. Any sponsor for a women's sports league or team, you just figured it out. All right. Especially in soccer. I see it all the time. You see it in women's basketball all the time. Jerseys covered by the long hair. There you go. Swap the logos, put them at the bottom. Shout out to you, Molson, and shout out to the Women's Hockey League. Oh, and here, I'll give this one too. They're also going to be partnering with Barbie this year as well to do some stuff for the Women's Hockey League. So, I mean, get your girls watching it. Because if they're not watching the Women's Soccer League, get them watching the women's hockey too. Because we'll talk about them on the Straub Sports Show because we don't leave out the girls. Absolutely not. But that'll do it for your news and notes. Kind of keeping it moving, like I said, this week. Obviously, it's just me. I got nobody. I don't have an annoying little brother to have him bounce all this stuff off of and have to listen to his ridiculous opinion. I say that now because he'll come back and watch this. But as we keep it moving, I do want to talk. Oh, they find this. Oh, you're silly. But now that you're here, Ray, I want to talk about the Guardians. Yes. I know we didn't talk about them a couple weeks ago. We started dipping into them last week, but I want to get back into it again. We're getting closer. We're getting deeper into spring trading. Things are kind of starting to open up in terms of the landscape of the team, what landscape of, kind of what is going on. Things aren't just just anomalies anymore. They're starting to become trends. That was the word I'm looking for. I'm trying to also get the social media out because I'm a little behind today. So bear with me for one second because I will be done in 1 second. But I want to talk about the Guardians. Like I said, they dropped a couple since we did last talk about them a week ago. Problem with that. So dropped them to the Angels, Reds, and the Cubs yesterday, but then we turned around and beat the Dodgers and the Rangers. We're playing the Rockies right now. I do not have a current score update, but that won't matter. But I do want to point a couple things out about the offense because when I was looking through and diving into some stats, there's a couple things that I found that I actually really like. They can hit and they can score. And I know that's what? Wait, that's crazy. Yes. They've scored more than 2 runs in 5 of their 15 games. Okay. Scored more than 5 in 7. Okay. I'm sorry. Flip that, obviously. But because now it's 12. But 7 of those games, they put up more than 5 runs. The Cleveland Guardians are doing something that we have kind of scratched our head at multiple seasons here in and out. And how is this team going to score runs? I've asked the question, how are they going to score runs? Because Jose leads the team with 2 home runs. So the long ball is going to come along in opportunities and in streaks with Jose, with Josh Naylor, hopefully with Martinez, and those guys, and hopefully Kyle at first base is part of that power surge. But you're seeing the small ball work very, very well. So like I said, I've talked about the youth movement. I'm going to bang the drum on it. Rest in peace to our guy. But I'm going to bang the drum on that for the Tribe and for the Guardians all year. That youth has got to be it. But I like to see what the pitching is gonna be as well. We talked about that a little bit last week. Angel Martinez is still leading the team everywhere. It was absolutely funny to dive back into those stats again and just kind of see that consistently over and over and over for him as well. John Adams, yes, thank you. I don't have little bro to like bounce it off when I needed one. So you're absolutely, thank you for the assist there, Ray. Yeah, I'm going to bang the drum like John Adams in terms of that. But I dove into the defense a little bit this week because I want to, I dove into the pitching. I give them a week now. But I want to dive into the defense because there was something that I did found. Now, like I talked about when I first talked about the Guardians, it's spring training. We got to take everything with a grain of salt. We got to be, we can't have heavy-handed opinions on what the hitting is or what the pitching is or anything. However, if we're going to be excited, and I'm excited about how the offense has looked for the most part this year with guys hitting the ball, getting on base, the base, the slugging percentage, things like that. I've enjoyed looking into that stuff and watching and listening. It's been hard to actually find televised Guardians game a bit this year, but when listening all the time and diving back in, but if we're going to be excited about the hitting, then we can't just take all of some of the negative things and throw them away and say, well, it's spring training. And first of all, because I've been talking about the youth movement, but Nick is absolutely right jumping in here. Chase better be on the roster. Yeah, he absolutely should be. I want all the kids on the roster. It's not going to happen, but I want all the kids on the roster. But I dove into the defensive stats. 7 errors this spring so far. 2 by pitchers, 5 by your infielders, and only 1 by your outfielders. So I don't know. The problem I've had with this team is when Tito originally came in, this team was great at small ball baseball, and this team was great defensively and did not make a lot of errors. Last year and the year before, it started the year before, and it definitely hit the nail on the head last year. The errors, the missed throws, just the bad base running sometimes, just the mental mistakes that this team was making that just were not indicative of past Guardians / Indians at the time teams. They just and Tito teams. It wasn't what they normally did. So I'm not saying 7 errors is a lot. I mean, it kind of is in a small sample size, but it's kind of the same way as some of the ERAs and stuff with the pitchers. It is spring ball where guys are working on it. Like it takes a minute and guys are working on things. Same thing defensively. Like guys are kind of working. Guys are working through getting the glove dirty for the first couple of times. Like Nick is saying, first base is rough. Nonetheless, better throws. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I guess, I don't know. And maybe, and you guys can jump in and tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I don't think I am here. I'm encouraged by the fact that they're in the infield. And I know you might go, what? Like, what? That's where the ball gets hit the most. No, I get that. But that is guys literally getting back into the groove of playing. If this was happening out in the outfield, I'd be a little bit more concerned. Because no matter what, you should be able to kind of track the ball and you should be able to catch it in the air. I'm sorry. Your pitchers, I'll be honest, and let's be real. Pitchers are going to make mistakes. They're going to make bad throws. We have been blessed as Guardians fans to honestly have a pitching staff that for the most part has been rock solid from top to bottom in terms of guys who can field the ball, who can throw the ball. So only 2 errors. One was by Class A. I cannot remember honestly off the top of my head. So we will see there. But so we'll go there. But I want to jump back into the youth. Nick brought something up. I want to go there. Freeman. Is Freeman finally ready? I don't know, but you know what? I don't want to find out in AA and AAA. That has been the issue, and I guess it depends on where your philosophy is on baseball, but there are a lot of teams that bring kids up and let them go and let them play. Then there are teams that like to kind of nickel and dime and, play with those years and, those service years and, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying. Like Nick is saying, he's looked great and all over the field, but are we going to bring him up and let him play? Now, the problem is, and let's be honest, I think all of us, and not in a bad way, and not to overuse this as expression in terms of sports when it has real meaning, but Guardians fans have PTSD in terms of some of these young guys. I mean, we screamed about, and we can talk about them. Freeman, we talked about Karinchak, We screamed about Lindor when he was down there. We screamed about Asdrubal Cabrera when he was down there. Guardians fans are used to guys not being brought up. Let's be honest. It always feels like when a top guy is being brought up for us, it kind of always feels like the organization is a couple steps behind what everyone else in the conventional world thinks about said prospect. And I'm not just talking about us fans. I'm talking about other people who know what they're talking about going, yeah, I don't understand why the Guardians haven't brought this guy up. Playing with service time. And I do agree with you, Nick, and you locked in with us. I agree. It seems like Volt likes him. But we got to see. I like his philosophy. Like I said, if you look at the numbers, and like I said, you can go watch the games. It says the same things, but when you dive into the details too, the kids are getting the at bats. Like there is no reliance anymore on some of these veterans. I mean, go and look. And don't get me wrong, you don't want to overuse some of these guys in the spring training, anyways. But Hosey's getting his at bats. Just saying. You know what I mean? Some of the other veterans are getting their at bats. Miles Straw's not getting as many at bats. I'm just, and yeah, I know, Nick. We got our Ray. We got to play with the service time because they're going to be a Yankee or a Dodger in 5 years. But I'm okay. But do what Atlanta did. Bring a couple of these guys up early and get them on these cheaper long-term deals. Don't wait until they're so damn good. You bring them up. They're a superstar in 2 to 3 years, and you have to pay them. Or do what Baltimore did. Bring these guys up as, like I said, in an early manner. Lose for a couple years. Lose for a year or two, and then get these guys on some of these contracts that you can keep guys around for. You know what I mean? Nolan and Brennan, like I said, bring them up and then trade them down while they're shining. I mean, I'm here for it. Oh, you meant Benson. I got you. But Nick meant Benson. But I'm here for it. I've said it all along. Bring the kids up. Let's play. I don't need to see Miles Straw. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm all right with Jimenez possibly being moved. I really am. I'm all about the kid movement here for the Guardians. It is time to start fresh and start over. I'll be real. And the reason I say that is because the youngest part of this core is your ace, Sticks, Tristan. I've been on the record on this. I can find it. I can bring it up. I think this team can win a World Series when he is your true and healthy ace. Just saying. That's how I feel about it. What you got, Ray? Cruz and Pitt is a monster. I think the Guardians fear that, like you're saying, monster deals. Yes. But you can fear the monster deals, but play it smart. And now, obviously, Atlanta has turned around and spent more money, but Baltimore doesn't have money. Baltimore doesn't spend money, but they brought the kids up early. They struggled. So then they were able to then lock them into some cheaper, team-friendlier deals for longer years, and now they got guys locked up. That's exactly what the Guardian needs to do with all of these kids. Like I said, I want the whole roster filled. Obviously, not everyone can come up, but I'm just saying. So, yeah. And this is why I wanted to bring the Guardians back in, because it's time. And as we get closer into obviously as we get closer to April, obviously next week, the following week, we are going to be March Madness heavy. Excuse me. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to have a Ruler's Minute Straub Sports Show crossover bracket challenge. Oh, and this is what happens when I'm solo dolo. I will mention this at the end of the show too. But before I jump back in real quick and finish on the Guardians, on ESPN.com, you can go in, and if you search the Straub Sports Show, yes, you can enter the Straub Sports Show bracket challenge. Get in. Obviously, you can't yet, but get in. Get a funny name. Please try to make it at least somewhat appropriate so we can put it on the screen. Okay, no. It doesn't have to be appropriate to a point, but obviously racist, homophobic. Obviously, we're not going to put it on the screen, but have some fun with it. Get in there and fill a bracket out when they're open and live for the men and the women, and we will have some fun, and we will see who dominates. Is it me, which it will be, another member of the 216 Sports Network, or one of the regulars, Mom, Ray, Nick, Pops, someone who jumps in with us, Sean, any of you who are regulars with us, or is it going to be somebody random? Or is it going to be my son who randomly just points to the teams that I point out for him? But we will see. But yeah, to finish up on the Guardians, though, it's all wait and see, but let the kids play. So, but it's March. So we all know what time it is. It's time for March Madness. Now, obviously, I could put up a top 25 and I could tell you who moved. Nobody cares. Top 25 is gone. Roll it up in a ball, throw it away because it's over with. Because all anybody cares about at this point is who's in and who's not, right? But just in case you were curious, Houston, UConn, Purdue, North Carolina, Tennessee. That is how your top five finished for your top 25. But we've got some tickets that are punched because right now, currently, is conference championships. Obviously, like I said at the top of the show, and I will remind you, I will be covering the MAC tournament. Shout out to the University of Akron, who's playing right now and winning. But I will be covering the MAC tournament in person tomorrow and Saturday. I'll be in there for the championship game. Unfortunately, I have to do a regular job and have money to pay bills. So unfortunately, I was not able to cover the first 2 days of the tournament in person, but I was watching in, rocking along, following on Twitter at Straub Sports. All kinds of exclusives. I will have some interviews, some post-game press conferences, some photos, some stuff like that. It'll be an absolute good thing to check out. If you don't have a Twitter or an X, go sign up. Literally go sign up just to follow us. It is fun. It will be worth it. Purdue, yes, here we go. Nick is ready. Purdue, the king of top 5 rankings in first round exits. I'm not going to lie. I do not believe a lot in the Big Ten. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't believe a lot in the Big Ten. But let's get to some of bet on your 7 seeds. And hey, listen, 12 beats of 5 every year. 12 beats of 5 every year. Look at some of those lower seeds. But we will break all of that down next week on our bracket challenge. But let's get to what you really want to know. Ken, who's in? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about who is automatically in so far on the men's side. As you see, Ohio Valley, we've got Morehead State, Big South, Longwood Lancers. I could go through and I could read this. I also feel like that would be some of the most boring audio of all time. But I do want to point out a couple things. Horizon League, Oakland Grizzlies. I do want to give a shout out to the CSU men. They did get bounced out in the semifinals, but they had a good run. I want to give a shout out to South Dakota State. You will see they won on both the men and women's side. But we have also Montana State. But as you see, most of the smaller ones have punched their tickets. But as you're going to see here, boom, we've got nothing. Why? Because everybody's still playing. All your big boys, all your blue bloods, all your big guys kind of still slugging it out, kind of trying to figure out what's going on there. Ivy League, WAC in there, Conference USA, the MAC, as I talked about, will be settled on Saturday. I'll be there to get kind of clue you in on that. So that's how it goes on the men's side. Like I said, if you're not tuned in, tune in. There have been some incredible games. I'm not going to lie. I have to cover it. I don't have to cover it, but I love to cover it, and I cover it for the show. I'm going 4 box on the ESPN app. Every time a game ends, another game just fills the box. It has been absolutely insane. I can't tell you the last time I've watched this much college basketball, but I also can't tell you how much I've enjoyed watching college basketball as well. But not just on the men's side. We've got tickets punched on the women's side as well. A couple more than the men. Obviously, Big Ten, Iowa, ACC, my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Shout out to the SEC there, where South Carolina, after literally beating up LSU, beat up LSU and won the SEC championship. USC, your Pac-12 championship. UConn, Horizon League, as you see, Green Bay in there. I want to give another shout out to the CSU women, and I want to kind of stand on a point here. Cleveland State deserves to be in. I know Green Bay won the Horizon League. Cleveland State won the Horizon League, beat Green Bay once, hung in with Iowa. Yes, it was, I think, a 20 to 25 point victory, but they've done that to so many people. They put 75 up on Iowa. Cleveland State, the women, deserve, excuse me, to be in the NCAA tournament. I stand on that. I stand on that business, and I'll be pissed, and I'll be sending out some tweets if they do not get in. Some other big ones, obviously, Texas, Summit League. As I told you, South Dakota State, the men and the women getting in on both sides. Congratulations to them. Marshall Thundering Herd. And then on the other side, like I said, up top, Mountain West, UNLV, the Lady Rebels getting in. And then other than that, as you see, the rest of these kind of being dug out and dragged out right now. All the ladies and the men kind of taking their battle, trying to get some automatic bids in and qualify. So obviously, you get to see them on the screen. If you don't and you haven't, and you're on Spotify, click the video. You'll be able to see it, be able to go through there. But we'll have more on that, like I said, as we get into next week, when we get to Monday, and we're breaking down each region, each bracket, each conference as we go. So that will take care of our college hoops. As I talked about that with the guard the land banner up, little bro will be mad at me there, but hey, what are you gonna do? So moving on to one of our favorites. Everybody knows what time it is. Just because bro's not here doesn't mean that I ain't got multiple. Our Straub bro of the week. If you can, do me a favor. It's on Facebook, but if you follow the show on TikTok at Straub bro or at the SBSS, I created it. I did it. I edited it. I did all of it. Have a new TikTok up there. My appreciation from a girl, Caitlin Clark. She deserves some love. She had an amazing season, but had some funny in there too. But a little love to Caitlin Clark. So please go check that out. However, Caitlin Clark is not a Straw Bro of the Week this week. However, there is a theme to the Straw Bros of the Week. And yes, baby, I'm going Irish heavier. First, Notre Dame freshman. Not the one you're thinking of. Marcus Burton. Yes, not Hannah Hidalgo. Marcus Burton. First Irish player to win ACC Rookie of the Year. So that, yeah, if you keep track and you pay attention to the show, that means we had two. That means Hannah and Marcus, ACC Rookies of the Year. But he also had a great opening round tournament game, going for 21-8. Give a shout out to Brendan Shrewsbury, added 23, 5 3-pointers. Burton then went for 21 3-3 in the second round of the ACC tournament, but unfortunately, we were dumped out. But we were dumped out by Wake Forest, but that didn't mean we didn't have a good first game, and we will be back next year, and we will be making the tournament. Okay? Whoever put reason. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get you there. But I also want to give another shout out to my Notre Dame Fighting Irish women. Like I said, winning the ACC championship game behind our second Straw Bro of the Week, Hannah Hidalgo, 22-6-6. Absolutely dominated. Absolutely had a great tournament. The women had a great tournament. I cannot wait to see where they get seeded, and I cannot wait until we get one of the big dogs. I can't wait until we get Iowa. I can't wait till we get LSU. I can't wait till we get South Carolina. Yes, give me all right, I'll be honest, I don't want to play South Carolina, but give me any of the other ones. All right, I'll absolutely take that. Also, a honorary Straw Bro of the Week. I apologize, I needed a drink there. To the Cleveland State, and I already mentioned it, but the Cleveland State men and women who both had great seasons. Like I said, the girls lost in the final. I already said it. I stand on that business. They absolutely deserve a bid into the tournament. They deserve to get in there. They were they were projected to be a 12 or 13 seed while they were running away with the Horizon, and they were projected to win the tournament. So I'm sorry, them going into the final and losing to the team in Green Bay that was already going to make it according to every to the statistics and to the rankings. There's no way they shouldn't get in, but I'm gonna leave that at that. So obviously that takes care of your men and women's hoops, your news and notes, your honorary Straw Bro of the Week. So that means there's only one thing left, and that doesn't mean I was gonna do it. I wasn't going to do it. I'm just riding it solo. And that is the footy. Yep. We're going to talk a little bit of soccer. First things first. And I got all the graphics. I cooked it all up this week, baby. We got to talk a little Champions League. End of the second leg of the rest of the games finished up this past week. As you see, Arsenal over Porto. Arsenal advanced on penalty kicks. Theme this week for both Arsenal and Atletico. Napoli lost to Barcelona. Barcelona cruise. Dortmund took out our Americans 2-0, advancing 3-1 on aggregate. Tough one, especially as a Manchester United fan who had to watch Jordan Sancho a man of the match, or man, I don't want to call it that, but have a good performance and fire in a goal as well. And then as you see it, yes, Atletico 2, Inter 1, 2-2 on the aggregate. Atletico advance 3-2 on penalties. So both Arsenal and Atletico advancing on penalty kicks. We will see what the Champions League draw leads. It may have already happened today. I'm not 100% sure, but we will see what the draw leads to. Jumping into England, because we like to talk about our English Premier League. I do not have a table for you this week, but it doesn't matter. As you see some of the results there, some of the big ones, I'm going to throw little bro a bone first, and I'm going to talk about his game since he isn't here to talk about it. And that would be our first battle in which the team our dad picked battles one of us. And that would be Chelsea 3, Newcastle 2. You see it there at the bottom of the screen. 2 second-half goals from Cole Palmer, and Mikhailo Murdoch helped Chelsea hold on after Alexander Isak would get one in the first half, and Jacob Murphy would get one in the 90th minute to give Newcastle hope, but not enough. This is a great back and forth game between two mid-ass level teams with no future. And nowhere to go this year. And I absolutely am taking shots because neither of you can do anything about it this week. And I mean, just two mid fan bases as well, but we'll just keep it rolling on that. Everton 0, Manchester United 2. Yes, going to get both of our results out of the way. 3 penalties. Yes. 2 put home. One by Bruno Fernandes and one by Marcus Rashford. Sees my Reds go marching on, pick up all 3 points. Alejandro Garnacho, a great performance on the wing. We are back. Oh, I get to say that with no resistance. And then your biggest result here of the week, the biggest game of the week, Manchester City 1, Liverpool 1. Once again, another one that I wish bro was in and able to talk about. Liverpool did what they have done all year to a point. City did get on them early. They got on the board with a 23rd minute goal from John Bonestones with a nice finish off of a good Kevin De Bruyne move. But Liverpool would not be denied as Alexis McAllister would put home a penalty kick after Darwin Núñez was brought down. Then there was another major flashpoint later on in the game. If you haven't seen it, basically, McAllister would go into a challenge and Doku would basically kick him in the chest. But it's Manchester 115 count City, so that what can you expect? VAR looked at it. VAR came back and said there was nothing, that it was just, 2 players just, going into a play. That is some of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. It was absolutely a penalty kick. I will really, really, really would love for our Manchester United or City fan to be lurking in the comments there. I don't know if you're in there, Sean, but it was absolutely a penalty. He gave him a Rick James. Man, I mean, kicked him right in the chest, bro. I mean, it was pretty bad. But hey, what can you do? But as a result, Arsenal, as you see on the screen, 2-1 over Brentford. They go top of the league because of these 2 drawing. So Arsenal fans, rejoice. You are top. And the Chelsea fan is not here this week to rain on your parade because I technically picked you to win the English Premier League. So I'm not going to be mad that you are sitting atop of the table because full screen, cannot root for Liverpool, cannot root for Manchester City to win the Premier League. Now, we have a different kind of set. We have got some FA Cup this week, as we've talked about, and me and bro have talked about on plenty of the Footy Fridays. FA Cup, second biggest trophy in England behind the actual Premier League, the league trophy. But this is who we've got left. This is it. Coventry and Wolves. We've got Newcastle at Manchester City, a big matchup there. Leicester at Chelsea. Little bro will probably has the second or so weakest side. Of course, Chelsea gets an easy draw there. And then the big one, a big one for me and a big one here. Liverpool at Manchester United, one of the biggest rivalries in England, one of my biggest rivals as we take each other on in the FA Cup this weekend. Yes, I will be watching. Yes, I will be screaming. Yes, I will be crying. Hopefully tears and tears of bliss and joy. There is a very small, technically, review this week for the Premier League. As you see, only a couple of games because of all of those Premier League teams playing in the FA Cup. Obviously, we had one yesterday, and if you didn't watch it, it is worth trying to catch a replay of. Luton Town went up 3-0 before Bournemouth stormed back to score 4 unanswered goals and win this game 4-3. An amazing comeback there. Bournemouth trying everything they can to kind of stay up, and Luton doing everything they can to get out of that relegation zone. Like you said, or like I said, only a couple more games after that. We got Brentford at Burnley, Nottingham Forest at Luton Town, Spurs at Fulham, and Aston Villa at West Ham. Your big game there. That is 7th and 4th, respectively, in terms of how I named it. So that is a huge, huge game. Now, let's shift our focus a little bit. Let's come over to America. It's MLS time, baby. As you see, this graphic's been up for a couple weeks, but if you don't remember it, I'll explain it. Those are all of the games, obviously. The color is the team that has won. Obviously, you can start to put that together as you kind of get familiar with it. But some major results around here, the ones I want to talk about specifically, and that would be Orlando City 2, Minnesota 3. Yes, a wild, wild game. This is absolutely a fun one. A first-minute goal from Duncan McGuire, a fourth-minute goal from Timo Pukki, kept it all square at 1. Timo Pukki then would double in the 38th. Then Duncan McGuire would get his double in the 83rd. And then Minnesota would steal all 3 points and continue their hot form. A great game. And I talked about it last week. It's worth talking about again. This Minnesota team hired a coach 4 days before the MLS season started, and now have won 2 and tied 1. Have not dropped a point. I mean, technically, yes, the ties dropped, but not lost. Okay. That is amazing to come in and just continue to hit the ground running like that. Another one, the Columbus Crew. You see it lit up there in yellow. Columbus Crew 2, Chicago 1. The Crew absolutely steal themselves a game with a 100-minute winner in a game of 2 second-half goals for each team before they stole that winner. Yes, you see me highlighted in gray down there at the bottom. Want to talk about it, even though I didn't write the correct score. Nashville 2, Galaxy 2. My Galaxy honestly should have won this game. A penalty kick saved in the first half, off the post later on in the game. They come right down, Nashville does, and scores literally on that play. But no L's yet for my Galaxy. I want to point that out, just like Minnesota. 2 draws and a win. No losses, and really creating chances. Absolutely. They need to just sharpen it up a little bit on both ends of the box, specifically on the offensive end. But that is going to come as the season continues. But we have a fun result to talk about. And yes, I've stated many times on the past, and I apologize, I got to take me a drink. And I love me some Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm Manchester United. I'm red. I'm a Red Devil. All that. I don't dislike Messi. I really don't. But this one was fun. Inter Miami 2, Montreal 3. Yes, you heard that right. Ibrahim, 78th minute goal, was the winner. Jordi Alba did get one back in the 80th minute, but it wasn't enough. I don't even want to give you my notes on this game. I am just going to give you what, in between his cross-country road trip, little bro sent me. Did Messi play? Doesn't matter. I did mention to him, I said, no, he was floral shirted out, because he was floral shirted out. Miami Vice, he goes, did Busquets not come on until the 66th minute? Also doesn't matter. Did Suarez not come on until the 77th minute? Still doesn't matter. Stop asking questions. That's my guy. It was funny. Inter Miami had a CONCACAF game in between both week scheduled games. So Messi played midweek, took the weekend off. This is what is going to happen to Inter Miami. You bring Busquets on in the 66th minute. I mean, I get it. Busquets is an all-timer. His quality is immense. But you're bringing on a defensive midfielder when you need to score goals. I don't care what his quality is. Bringing on Suarez in the 77th minute, that's fine. You're talking about a guy who can't train because his back is so messed up right now. So I don't know what that is going to do for you, throwing him on for 20 minutes. And Messi didn't play. This team doesn't have the depth. They don't have the money to put into get it the depth. They just don't have that to be able to really, really kind of back up the squad. And I'll be honest, this is, and if you're an American, this is easy for you because you've done this a million and you've heard this a million gazillion times. But this is the equivalent of a top heavy basketball team. This is the Miami Heat. When it was Dwayne, when you know what I mean, when it was Damon Jones or Dwayne Jones and Mario Chalmers and some of these guys, it was the Cavs. When we're relying heavy, you know what I mean, on Deladova and some of these guys that are mid-level guys, not as expensive because you don't have the money. When you invest all this money into the top-level talent like Messi and all these guys that you did, you're gonna have repercussions, and the repercussions, flat out for Miami, are they do not have the depth on their squad. But we will see. Excuse me. Again, voice a little running out today. That's what happens when you got to talk all by yourself. But Miami has a chance to bounce back. As we take a look at this upcoming week's MLS schedule, as I said, Miami will more than likely have a full squad, have everybody back in the lineup there. So as they take on DC United, that shouldn't be an issue. But other than one result this year, Miami hasn't really run away from a lot of teams. Chicago, Lil Bro talked about it last week, and I didn't disagree. But for all of this hot start and where is Chicago and oh my goodness, they haven't won a game. So they're going to look to try to get on and get in with CF Montreal. Obviously, though, Montreal just coming off that upset of Inter Miami, flying high. But Chicago looking to give them a game. Columbus looking to keep it going against the New York Red Bulls. Seattle and Philly. I can jump back on the graphic. The game was postponed last week, so they did not play. So now we come into this week, Seattle, Colorado, and then we have Philly taking on Austin FC. Rested? I don't know. We'll see. I know that didn't make any sense at first, but roll with it. We will see how that goes for each of those. I kind of would rather have been playing, no offense, early on in the season like that. You're already rusting coming in from preseason. Want to get some games, want to get some minutes under your belt. So we will see what goes on there. Little bro, Cincinnati takes on New England as Cincinnati looks to kind of keep a stretch of decent results going. Obviously, they did lose to Monterrey in the CONCACAF Champions League. More on that coming up. And then the last one, my Galaxy take on St. Louis in an early season top of the West battle. We're all like 4 games in. That is just ridiculous to even say, but I love it and I'm here for it. My Galaxy playing well. So now I know this is normally a weird time because this is where we get super excited because I get to go, bro. I get to go throw it to you because it's time for you to let everybody in on all of our American soccer players overseas, handling their business, Americans abroad. Obviously, you don't see little bro. So there is no Big bro got you this week. Welcome to Americans Abroad. Yes, I will be taking that over today. I will be making sure you are kept in the loop on all your Americans. I said it last week. I went on a rant last week that I won't be making a reel of, where I challenged and I said, find me a show that covers the United States men's national team more than this one. And then, of course, I realized that there is a podcast between Jesse March, Taylor Twellman, and Alexi Laws, and I think Jesse March, where they talk about Americans all the time, and they talk about them on the Galazzo show. But hey, so do we every week, because even when little bro's not here, big bro will take care of you. Our first one, Tyler Adams. We're gonna do a little differently than bro. We're gonna start small. We're gonna go big. Tyler Adams was on the bench for Bournemouth for the first time in 364 days. That is amazing. We are officially on Tyler Adams' watch on the Straub Bro Sports Show Twitter account. That's a little bro's job, but we will be keeping an eye on that. So now let's get to the guys who actually did play. Joe Scally, an assist, his first since September. Little bro purposely does not want to be here for this one. Brandon Vasquez scored the only goal in Monterrey's 1-0 win over his former club, FC Cincinnati. Oh, he added that, not me. Ladies and gentlemen, the sunrise, the sun sets, and Josh Sargent scores a goal. Yes, Josh Sargent got another one, his 12th of the season. Love it. Man is on fire. This is my personal favorite of all of the updates. John Brooks, a Straub Bro Sports Show favorite, specifically because we feel that he is very, very overlooked. A 6th-minute goal and a 22nd minute red card. That is America, baby. That is American soccer. That is what I am talking about. Absolutely love it. Now, this is probably, and I know he's going to be disappointed on this. I'll let him run it back when he comes back next week. This is a great thing for United States soccer just in general, but I love it for this generation too, specifically getting ready to come into the Nations League. And this is our run of man of the match performances. We're going to start with Salinia, our goalie. Yes, a 4-save clean sheet and a man of the match performance for him. Alejandro Zendejas, a goal, an assist, and a man of the match performance for him. Weston McKennie, both of Juventus's assists in a 2-2 draw where he was man of the match. Haji Wright, yes, our guy, scored the only 2 goals for Coventry as he won the game for them. And man of the match, we're going to keep going, Serginho Dest, a great solo goal and an effort, and the winning goal in his man of the match performance for PSV. Come on now. You know, last, but certainly not least, Captain America, Christian Pulisic, keeps it ablaze. 2 goals in 2 games and a man of the match performance for AC Milan. Looking forward to all of these guys specifically, because I think every single one that I mentioned is, and the rest who are coming into camp for Nations League final is going to be great. I absolutely cannot wait for it. We will obviously cover it extensively here on the show. We will have plenty of Footy Fridays, maybe not even a Friday, maybe even just a Footy show where we get you ready for that Nations League final. And I'll talk to Lil Bro about it. We'll see. We got to line up some times and dates and things like that. But potentially, maybe we have a watch along. Maybe we get everybody involved. You have some questions along the game. We can talk some strategy, what me and him see as former players, as a former player coach. Maybe we can possibly bring in some guests along the way. We will absolutely see what happens, but we will have some fun with that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your Americans Abroad. A much abbreviated, a much shorter show today, obviously because it's only one man, but I still managed to talk to you for 53 minutes plus and counting. So who knows how long this would have went if there was 2 of us. But that'll do it. Thank you. I want to thank all of you for rocking with me solo dolo today and making this literally just as easy as when Little Bro is here. He was possibly going to jump in and join us, but unfortunately, he's doing dinner. He's doing some things, and we're going to miss him, but that's okay. He'll be back with us next week. Bro, be safe out here when you run this back and you listen. We love you. We're glad you're holding it down for the show all around the country. I know you're letting everybody know to tune in, and everybody else where to tune in as well. And where do you tune in? That is the 216 Sports Network on the Facebook and YouTube page. And that's called Transitions, ladies and gentlemen, where you can find all of our shows, 4th and 15 with Mel and Smooth, the Jay Rich Show. I want to give a special shout out to Jay and his show. Jay has been all over the Canton Charge and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, if you've not been following, you need to go and follow, because that is where you're going to get all of that information. The Rulers Minute with Rico McGee. I want to give a special shout out to Rico. Rico has been covering the absolute heck out of the Canton Charge and the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he's also been covering MAC, and he's at the MAC championships right now, and men and women's side, as well as Cleveland State up until their run as well. So shout out with Rico and shout out with Jay for all your basketball news from college into the pros. Jay has got an interview up right now. He's got some sound from Darius Garland. Go check that out. Rico's got some stuff as well. Please, 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 outside interference with Mel, sometimes Ken. Gonna let you in on a little secret. We will be taping a special episode here in a week or two, so look out for that. Yes, I will be involved. Spoiler, can't keep that one down. Got to tell that one because I'm going to get to do something absolutely amazing, and that is for the first time in my life potentially step foot in a wrestling ring. So there's no way I cannot spoil that news because I'm absolutely a 4-year-old I wouldn't say 4-year-old, but 4-year-old in a candy store, but I'm still absolutely a 6 or 7-year-old who thinks he's Shawn Michaels or Jeff Hardy. So we will have some fun with that. And the last one, but not least, the Straub Bro Sports Show, where normally big bros with little bro, and we take care of all your sports news and needs. But obviously, I'm solo dolo today, but that's all right. And that's not all. Us, the Strawbro Sports Show specifically. You can find us on Twitter /X at Strawbro Sports, TikTok at the SBSS. Like I said, go check out that Caitlin Clark TikTok on Twitter. Go check out my coverage of the MAC. I'm going to be jumping off of here and literally into whatever is going on in the MAC to be covering that. So if you want to, jump over with us, we absolutely would be. You can continue. You won't have to hear me talk. You can just read my thoughts. And on Spotify, the Strawbro Sports Show, if you just go ahead and search us, we come up. Please give us a follow. Give us a 5-star on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe on Facebook. Give us a like and give us a follow. I did mention the ring. Ray's going to bring it up. $50 to take a legitimate chop. Bro, you're not even close. I immediately was like, I'd like to go through a table. I'm an idiot. I know, but I was like, I can't help it. Like, there's a table involved, right? Maybe, possibly. Money in the Bank, I'm in. Hell in a Cell, I'm down. No, not at all. But we'll see. Absolutely. Mama laughing at us. Great job. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate that. Great job to all of you. I really, truly appreciate you guys rocking with us and coming in and kind of leaving me some comments and leading me through and kind of helping out. As I said, jump over to Twitter X right now. I'm going to be jumping off and jumping in to the MAC. There's more games tonight. There's one more, I think. I have to double check, but I will be covering it. If not, I will be in tomorrow, and I will be there at the MAC Championships where you can jump on and you can see some exclusive stuff. I love doing this. Words can't describe it. So being able to cover this MAC, be able to cover the MAC in person, my first credential for my first tournament, my first real big thing, is amazing. So look out for that because I will try to have some fun with it and keep it in for everyone. But I love doing this. I love bringing you my sports, my thoughts, unfiltered, fully biased, go Irish. I love bringing you what it feels like sports coverage should be. And I absolutely love doing it. And as always, love yours.